You sound like you're on an airplane.
Hello, flight attendant Kendall at y'all service.
You do. Oh my god. I found your calling. You're welcome.
Jeez.
Eat 'em up, bobcats.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yay.
Hey, Bridal babes. Welcome to my studio now. I'm sorry, you're leaving, so it's mine.
Kendall's like, I claimed the space.
For your last time in the studio, we're going to have a very special conversation about gender in media.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is my current boss, Erika Perez. Current for the last, 5 hours?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Ay. Good luck editing this, Kendall.
Okay, and who are you?
Hi. I'm Kat, your future boss. I'm the content manager for San Antonio Weddings right now, and I will be stepping in to host the podcast.
Which is Bridal Buzz, which is your domain.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Bridal.
I helped launch the podcast and I've been hosting it since, but now it's time for me to move on.
How did you get your foot in the door in order to manage your own brands?
Really wanted to make music, and so I was like, what are the skills I need? I grew up in music. I grew up learning about music. But in order to be an independent musician, you really need to understand the digital world. And so I ended up going to study digital media management at St. Edward's University in Austin. Ended up here where, after all of that experience put together, gave me the opportunity to be the content manager at San Antonio Weddings.
That's really cool how you took one path and got to a totally different one. How about you, Erika?
My journey was a little different. I definitely thought I was going to just write for the rest of my life. I was majoring creative writing at one university, and then I transferred to UTSA. But they didn't have creative writing, so then I just moved into an English degree before I got to this place where I'm managing a brand.
Do you guys feel like it's a lot of responsibility? I mean, so many women look up to you as we're in the wedding industry. They're always looking up to you and seeing what you're doing and what you love and what you like. Do you have a lot of feel a lot of pressure to be a responsible person?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm because we pride ourselves on being we are cutting edge. We are the first ones to know everything and anything in the wedding industry.
So aggressive.
Yes, and it's not just limited to San Antonio. We look at everything. We're so great. We added that pressure to ourselves for sure. It wasn't something that people said we expect you to be number one, but it was well, if we want to succeed.
And I think we're both into being the best. So
yeah, the idea of being the best.
Yeah. If you throw us into a room, we're gonna try and be the best that we can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is a big responsibility. And I think there's a lot of vendors in this industry that are creators, DIY, turned to decor and floral, and then there's us, which we're marketing. So it's kind of a whole different side of the wedding industry compared to a lot of the people we work with.
Like I said, I think we did it to ourselves, but I don't think there's any problem with it either. I don't have a problem sleeping at night for the most part, because
for the most part
I'm I am the best, and I'm I convince myself, I don't
just will it into existence.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't
manifesting peace.
Yeah.
Change the subject.
Sure.
I know, we'll go on for we're talkers.
Yeah. We host podcasts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Plus, I've never been on this side, so I'm having the time of my life. I'm hello.
I'm just
me
questions.
And I was
So a big part of social media and brand advertisements is the presentation of women.
Mm-hmm.
I feel women were arguably told that we're worthless if we don't act a certain way or look a certain way. Does this affect yourself and how you present your brand online?
I'm going to go with no. I guess I do, but I created it myself. Because Bridal Buzz was so build your own, I don't want to say build a bear, but it was very you literally were on the go.
Making a cake from scratch.
Yes. So it was I decided this was the voice. And the reason why I did that was we researched, as social media marketers, you research what works in media and specifically what platform. And so I guess I am trying to make this Bridal Buzz voice fit a certain mold, but I created the mold.
Okay.
So I didn't necessarily I guess I did. I let the research influence the voice.
But you don't feel boxed in by it. Like you have to present yourself as a certain kind of woman to be appreciated.
Kat's the new host.
Damn, I hurt myself. Say the question again. So I guess I do definitely, especially being like in the front all the time, it definitely it did come to a point where it did affect me. Yes. Yeah. Damn, I hate having to admit that.
Well, that answer just like, honestly, I was like, dang, yeah, I literally, as soon as I found out I was going to be taking over as host, I was like, okay, time to get to the gym. It's time to start working out again.
Eventually you're like, oh crap, I can't smell smelly all the time. I can't just go out here in shorts and a t-shirt every damn day, you know? Like that was weird. And I did. Kat, when she first started, she was like, I feel like I have to buy a whole new wardrobe for this job. And I was like, I did. You know? Like, I was like, yeah.
I'm a hairy person, and so I like microdermabladed my whole face to make sure I looked like a baby. And it's like, why do we do that? Some hair on your face. Oh my God.
Do you guys know how, I want to call them idiotic people, to be honest, like, you know, like the people who are like, oh my gosh, ads don't affect me, but they do, like, subconsciously, like,
I'm not affected by the media. I am who I am. Yeah, it's like,
those people, like, using that same concept, does the media's perception of women affect your idea of what the female ideal beauty standard is?
I'd say especially in the wedding industry, like, and I've not been a bride before, but I can't even imagine the pressures of it. You know, it's just recently we're seeing women wear pantsuits, just, I'd say, masculine leaning fashion pieces, and it definitely affects the way that people see themselves and want to present themselves, for sure.
There's this thing called style shoots in the wedding industry, and they're just fake weddings, and we take photos of them, and it's for inspiration, and it's a lot of what you see on Pinterest and stuff to give y'all an idea. But when I first started, a lot of those styled shoots, and there were a lot of beautiful blonde white women, tall, thin, you know, the fitting the slender,
marrying a man,
fitting exactly. And it was very like, that's what it is. And when I first started, there was definitely talks of like, we need more people of color, we need people with different complexions, we need people with different hair texture, we need all of that. And I think for me and Kat, we've definitely moved in a direction where we're pushing those ideals as well, because we feel the same way. But I mean, so it's going to affect it, especially, I mean, it's just, these thighs ain't going to fit there. You know?
I think in recent years, we've started to be more welcoming to curvy shapes, but it's still like, okay, but it has to be the right kind of curvy, you know? Right. Like, you have to have the waistline, and if your top half is bigger than your bottom half, then you're not the right kind of curvy. And it's just like, why are there trends of like, you know, what face shape is the most popular? It's like, we're all gonna have our face shape for the rest of our lives.
Seriously.
It doesn't make any sense that this could be like a trend to have like a button nose.
Okay, but Erika, what you were saying has to go with like this concept called the white ideal. I found this article from The Guardian. It was called "The Truth About Adverts Selling the White Woman." Basically, this guy named Hank Thomas, he basically said it best. He said, racism is the most successful advertising campaign of all time.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you guys have noticed. Do you feel any pressure at all that the white ideal affects you? Like, or... Yeah, I
mean, I did, for sure. Like, the older you get, the less you care, for sure.
As you
giving away my age, I'm about to hit 27. Wow, so slowly but surely, I'm like shedding the cares. Like, I'm just like, I care less. But for sure, growing up, or even when I was in my master's program, my original capstone idea was to call out Pinterest and who that algorithm caters to. I had all these screen grabs. I had all these like input from other women who are also curvier, colorful women, and how they too have noticed, like, if you just go in there and look up outfit ideas, I don't know the exact percentage, but more often than not, 9 out of 10, it's going to be beautiful
skinny white
women. And it's like, well, that's a great outfit idea for someone with those size hips, you know. And so for sure, yes, it has affected me 100%. But like I said, the older I get, it's almost like you care a little less. Like, I don't know, I heard my mom say that, like, oh, by the time you're my age, you don't care about anything. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting there. Mom? Yeah, I'm like, you really do just be like, oh, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really don't matter.
You make yourself sound out like you're like 60.
She's like, in my wise age, let me tell you, children.
A beautiful white, tall, blonde woman comes into the room, and I'm already a little more, I don't want to say intimidated, but I'm definitely like, oh my God, like beauty just came in. And it's like, I forget that
Beauty
even
was already in there.
That's what I was going to say. It's like you forget that you too are attractive. Like,
My mom also speaks Spanish, and she was casted in a lot of Spanish speaking commercials because she's white appearing, but sounds like she's from Mexico City. So, and I remember as a kid, she would tell me, like, you know, if you learn Spanish, you're going to have a better chance because the media favors lighter skinned Hispanics. And it never like hurt me until I got older and was like, oh my God, but my cousins who are Colombian and Mexican who just have a darker complexion, like they have had such a different life and have been treated in such a different light than I had. So it really does. It comes with age and like realizing, oh my God, I lived my life like this for so many years. And yeah, it's like taking the veil over your eyes, you know, seeing life for what it truly is.
Does the wedding industry specifically make you want to look and act a certain way?
100%. It has definitely changed. I don't try and let it, but it changes the way that I dress when I go out. It's really just, I feel like it's a very feminine industry. The people we work with are definitely, I would say, more on the feminine side for the most part. They're very lovey-dovey and they love to make little cute things, and you know it. And this is all with respect toward them, but I just have never been like, I mean, listen to my voice. Like, I just am not, I'm not a girly girl, okay? And it has been really hard to feel grounded in my femininity getting into this industry because of that. And there's this ideal bride where she's like a princess and she's light and floaty and airy. And I think we try our hardest to try and showcase the other side of that on our platforms as much as we can, because we know that we're not the only ones that feel like, you know, that's not me. You know, I want to see a wedding that is actually me, where she was wearing a power suit.
Y'all have already explained there is a certain expectation for brides to look, and for even people in the wedding industry. But there's this film, I don't know if y'all have heard of it. It's called Killing Us Softly.
No.
It's pretty interesting. I had to watch it for this class. But there's 4 parts, and there's a fun fact. 91% of all cosmetic work is performed on women.
Wow.
So yearly, that's about 11.7 million procedures. I was just wondering if y'all find that many women get cosmetic procedures done before their wedding day so they can look a certain way.
You know, I don't personally know that answer. I know a lot of women, there's this concept of shredding for the wedding. And so it's like getting your body in shape for your wedding day. I'm sure there are women who get procedures done. For the most part, I think most women want to look like themselves and the person that their partner originally signed up for on their wedding date.
Okay. So there's no like two very drastic, like you've looked at like their proposal pictures and then their wedding pictures and you didn't see something super drastic?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think people who get procedures are going to get procedures regardless of if it's for their wedding or not. Like, they're probably in the process of getting Botox every couple months anyways.
Oh, okay.
I do know that places specifically will have bridal packages at these med spas, and I don't know if that necessarily implies procedures, though. Could be just like facials and things.
I don't think they're getting big changes done, no.
Like boob jobs. And maybe a little bit of liposuction.
Maybe a little bit of Botox if they really hate that one wrinkle for their picture, but we've never seen something completely dramatic. I think the most dramatic thing I've seen is ortho, like braces or something like that. They care a lot about the more subtleties, the
like
things that you think don't matter.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
The thing they've always dealt with and they don't want to have to care about it on that day.
Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of like a change of direction. Yeah. Okay, but we're gonna talk a little bit about getting sexualized. Okay. So
it's happened even as So go on with your question. I've got things for this.
You want to go on a rant? Okay. But so in our personal lives, we always get sexualized personal accounts. But what about on your San Antonio Weddings account and Bridal Buzz account?
For sure, Bridal Buzz has gotten a few saucy comments here and there. There was one where we just completely deleted it. We were not even going to acknowledge the vulgarity of. It was on our YouTube channel, Bridal Buzz. You can find us right away. But it just basically was just a guy going like just speaking about my body, specific body parts and what he would do with them. And it was just like, what in the world? And then I had to block somebody on our Facebook because it was, you know, like, it was compliments, but of my body. And it was just like, it's gross. One of our most watched episodes is a pinup episode, and it's super cutesy, super PG. Like, you say pinups and you automatically think dirty things, but it's one of our most watched episodes. I'm not saying anything about anything, but why is it one of our most watched episodes? And and you can see the guys, if you think we can't see, we can see who's watching it, the demographic that is watching it, male or female. And there's a lot of men watching an episode about getting your bachelorette party at a pinup shoot. Like, it's interesting. So yes, it does happen,
right?
Yeah, it does, and it happens. And I mean, if you wanted to know how we handle it, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to make your brands look good. You delete some of those comments, you block some of the people, and you just move on. It's a lot like the way you handle your personal account.
We work with a whole bunch of different vendors. Has any of them ever, like, asked you to do anything, like, sort of sexual? Like, anything that could be even perceived as sexual?
I mean, other than the pinup shoot, no. But like I said, the pinup shoot, it's like, it was skirts that were, like, up to my knees. It was...
Oh, that is not even...
I mean, there's
retro.
a... If you consider, you know, the 50s a sexy time, then hold your horses.
Maybe men do, because that's like when women did all of this stuff for me. Right. Now they're freaking independent people.
Those were the days.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if seeing some ankles gets you going, then
I mean, that's
saucy. But
kneecaps.
I mean, we haven't been a sexy platform because it's just...
Yeah, the brides, I think we want our couples to feel sexier than us, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the goal. People will get kind of intimate in their engagement sessions. They'll give like a nice butt grab, you know.
That's true.
Kind of sexy, like leg over, you know. But I don't think we've ever gotten boudoir photos submitted to us to be featured. So I personally try, I don't know if this is bad, but I try and stay away from putting that stuff on our profile because it just, even though it's a part of the wedding industry, as soon as someone sees that, that's going to be the only thing they see because of the way that it just... sexualization grabs attention, you know.
I mean, but hey, sex sells.
Yes, and I'm not gonna lie, that the thought has crept into my mind as I'm making decisions for Bridal Buzz and what the host should and shouldn't do and blah blah blah. It has crept my mind because there are some $1 million podcasts because these females or these women, sorry, I don't want to call them females. Yes, because certain women will, you know, accentuate certain things and look a certain way, and I'm like, my ticket to success lies in the shirt I'm wearing. Yeah. And obviously I snap out of it and I'm like, no, you're not selling sex. You're selling weddings, and just work hard at your niche and do the best that you can and provide a good service. Even though it does, I mean, that lane exists. If I just wore a shorter skirt, I'd have more likes.
I think it's kind of I don't know if this is bad either, but I feel like it's kind of the easy way out of, you know, using your body to get the attention you want. And I had an account that was body positivity, body hair positivity. I went through a couple years of life where I just didn't shave because I grew up getting made fun of for that part of who I was, being told it was dirty and not feminine to have hair on my face or under my arms. And lo and behold, once I turned that into a professional account, I realized 85% of the people following me were men. And I felt so like abused. Like, I'm still kind of traumatized from that experience. And all of the DMs that I would get telling me, like, things I'm never going to repeat out loud because it's, like, the audacity that someone has to even say that is baffling to me.
Disgusting.
Do you want Oakley Jag and I to go?
Yes.
Well, we're born with hair. Like, why are people selling this idea that we have to be like babies, you know, without any hair on our bodies? And it's just like...
sexualization.
Exactly. If there are people out there struggling with all of this, you know, you're not alone, and just stay true to who you are. And, you know, if you want to be sexy and all of that, like, more power to you. Just remember the intention behind it.
But, you know, you did ask it, though. Would you do something if they ask you to do it? My brain works in a very, work is work and not work is not work. And so, yeah, I probably would have done it for sure. but I didn't.
Feel like you'd lose a part of yourself if you did that? Like, would you think less of yourself?
I don't think so, because I separate it really hardcore, which I'm learning that maybe I shouldn't separate it so much that you're like, it's weird the way your brain can operate so separately in separate spaces. And
You
so
act like you're a separate person at work.
right. It would have been unhealthy. Sorry. It would have been unhealthy to like have it so separated that I would do something and be like, it's okay because work's set to do it and it's so different. It doesn't affect me.
It's
and
not
I would
really
move
me.
on.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's a good thing that you haven't sold out
Not
to sex.
Hold
Not
the
yet.
sex card.
Bye, guys. The buzz doesn't have to stop. Woo!
That's a wrap.
I think that took a whole hour.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dude, I feel